Hi there and welcome to Understand Plants. Here I'm going to talk about what soils should contain and what soil roses prefer. So let's take a look on fertility from the soil. Oh my, there is so many nutritions there. I can't actually sort them out, but we will have to take a closer look on the list so we can see what is going on. So take a look on this. Here you can see the plant nutritions. They are essential elements that they are needed for plant growth, and plant absorb at least 90 different elements. Only a few are added for plant growth. And these are defined as those that 1. A lack of stops growth reproduction, 2. Are directly involved in plant nutrition, and 3. There's shortage you can only be corrected by supplying the nutrients. So to actually convert this so you can understand that, they have made a supplement like macronutrients and a micronutrients and a beneficial elements that are helpful. I'm going to show you the real list of this. But first of all, we have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Then we have the primary macronutrition, and that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Then we have the secondary macronutrition, and that is calcium and sulfur. And then we have the micronutrition, and that is boron, copper, chlorine, iron, manganese, molybdenum, nickel and zinc. And the last one was beneficial elements, so that is sodium, silicon and cobalt. So why do we have to have something like nutrient ions? Well, ions charge atoms, molecules. They have positive and they have negative, and those ions are absorbed by plants' roots. And they also are adsorbed by soil particles. So when you look at the source of elements in the soil, you have kind of 4 pools: soil minerals, organic matter, absorbed nutrients and soil solutions. So you can put them in 2 kind of groups, and that is stored nutrients and there are available nutrients. We should also look at the soil colloids, because they are tiny clay and humus particles, and they carry a slight electrical charge that collects nutrients. And the soil contains 3 types of colloids. That is silicate clays, oxidized clays and humus. Now you might say that this is too much for me. I just want to grow roses, that's all. And yes, I get it. But at this point, I will suggest that you will take a look by the uptake of the roots. Because roots grow into soil that contains nutrients. Mass flow, nutrients are carried by roots by water flowing toward them. Then we have diffusion. Ions are driven through soil water by gradient toward the roots. So that is why it's important with nutrients, so the roots can take up all the minerals that it want, that it need. Then they will start to grow for you and they will be lovely and perfect and all that. So just let me give you one more. Factors affecting uptake. Well, it is oxygen supply, it is water supply, soil temperature, cold irrigation water, luxury consumption. Let me just show you 3 pictures of exchanges, what's going on in the roots. When the extension is done, well, we have a happy relationship. Then we have to look at our small little animals in the soil. We have the micro world going on, and we have our ants digging around and give a lot of oxygen to our roots. Then we have another one that is real digging for us, and that's the small worms. And then we have the other animals that we don't want to have on this place. So now is the big question. For our roses, What soil should I have? So here are the experts' advice. This is not from me, it's not from the roses, but it is from the experts. They say that you should have basic organic compost. You should have pine bark chunks. You should have perlite. You should have sphagnum peat moss. And you should also have all-purpose of sand. And here comes the thing. When I ask the roses, they say, no, we don't like that. We can grow on it, in it, but we don't like it. So now it's time to take a closer look. What does the roses actually prefer? What do they want? Well, they want carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. They're not so keen on nitrogen because they actually don't like it so much, but they do like phosphorus and they do like potassium. When we take a closer look at the secondary macronutrition, well, they're not so keen about calcium, but they actually prefer sulfur. So let's take a look at micronutritions. Well, they don't like boron so much. They do like copper. They don't like chlorine. They don't like iron. They don't actually like manganese, but they do love molybdenum. Nickel, oh, not so much, but zinc, yes. And we have the beneficial elements. Do they like sodium? No. Do they like silicon? Yes. Do they like cobalt? Yes, they do. So there you go. Now you know what nutritions they do like. So how can we manage to do that in our garden with our soil and so on? Well, instead of what the experts say, I will give you some suggestions that I have get. If you have any soil of your own at your garden, well, use 50% of your own soil or usual flower soil. Then you will have to have about 10% of pine bark, 30% of sand and 10% of compost. Then you are right in it for the roses. So how did I do this? Well, first of all, I tried to learn about soil, what the soil contains, and then I start asking the experts, what does roses prefer, how do you do it, what kind of result do you get, and so on. Until I get it, what they want, what they like, and then I started to ask the plant themselves, what do you prefer? Do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? And so on. And finally I get the results that you see in front of you. This is the soil that the roses do prefer. How can I actually ask the plant themselves about what soil they prefer? Well, this is an old knowledge that I have. I have learned it as a child. And the best part of it, I do want to learn how you yourself can ask your plant, what do they need, what do they want, and so on. The list goes on and on and on. And I do want it. I do so much want to learn you this. Because I love to see that you can become a member in your garden, so you can ask your garden yourself and have a great, gorgeous garden. If you are interested on that, well, I have the link below. You can start for free, and I hope I see you. Thank you so much for watching.